Episode 1, The Resolution That Went Wrong.
Of course, Finlay came to us before the move up the valley to Tanachbrae. The practice was still in the middle of Leavenford in those days. Shipyards and the estuary on one side, and the mills up by Barlone on the other. He came in 1931, it must have been. A green young doctor, Janet called him. She didn't see the need for another doctor in the practice, but I wanted new blood, someone full of ideas and energy. And of course with a proper respect for my old ways. Well, at least Finlay had the ideas and energy. But it took him a while to get the measure of Leavenford folk, and of one in particular. Maybe if he hadn't dropped off to sleep in the surgery, and maybe if he hadn't lunched on Janet's steak and kidney pie, things might have been different.
Go away, the surgery's closed.
I'm wanting my mother's bottle.
Then again, nothing could have prepared him for Charlie Bell.
How did you get in?
How do you think? Through the door. I'm wanting my mother's bottle, I tell you.
That door should have been locked.
Well, it wasn't. I'm here for my mother's medicine and I'll have it now.
Look, I don't know who your mother is, and I don't care who you are. Surgery's closed. Could you call back again this evening?
Call back? Charlie Bell doesn't call back for MD.
Bell? You're wanting Mrs. Bell's tonic?
It said the new doctor had brains.
Look, your mother's bottle is ready for her, but you can't have it now.
Is that the one behind you?
Look, I'm telling you, you can't have it now. You can call back for it at the proper time.
Aye, and who's going to stop me taking it?
I am.
You?
Yes.
Is that a fact?
That is a fact.
Do you know who I am?
I guess you're probably Mrs. Bell's son, Charlie.
You don't have any idea, do you?
Look, I know you're a bore and a bully, and I'd ask you to take your cap off when you're in my surgery.
I suppose I don't.
Well, then I'll have to do it for you.
You want to try?
I'll have to teach you some manners, I will.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, then go on then, you try. I'm ready, come on.
You think I won't?
Aye, I think you can. Come on, there's my chin. Just leave on it.
Why, you...
When Janet called me in to see a patient, I wasn't expecting it to be my new partner. You're going to have a fine black eye there, Finlay, along with your bloody nose.
Hold still while I put on the iodine.
He just came right at me. Didn't have a chance. Janet, careful.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
He was a giant of a man.
Do you know who it was?
Aye, Charlie Bell.
Charlie? Oh, he's been a bad lad all his life, Doctor. Up to mischief the moment he could crawl.
Are there any more like him in Leavenford?
You'll find plenty like Charlie in the shipyard.
And you want to be careful of the lasses from the mills over at Barlone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Keep your head still. Just a drop more iodine.
I thought Finlay would get over his hurt pride. It'd heal along with his black eye. But Janet was a good judge of character. She said he was stubborn. And she was right. She just didn't know how stubborn.
Boxing?
Yes, Sergeant.
You want me to teach you to box?
I do.
Can I ask you why?
Well, I was just reminded the other day that I didn't know how to box. I thought maybe I should learn.
Would this have anything to do with the state of your face?
And they tell me you're the best boxing instructor in Leavenford, Sergeant.
I wouldn't say that. I am the only one, mind.
So, will you take me on?
You've got the build for it, but you're soft.
Well, I know that well enough.
Are you willing to work?
Of course I am.
No, I mean really work. Up at dawn, a 5-mile run, cold baths, early nights, and no more of those pastries your housekeeper makes. They're a legend in Leavenford, you know. I remember having one at the summer fair last year. Custard it was.
I'll do whatever I have to, Sergeant.
You're serious about this?
I am.
Then Archie Galt's your man.
Thank you.
You may not be thanking me in a few weeks' time.
When can we start?
How about now? Put the gloves on. You'll see what you're made of, Doctor.
Is Dr. Finlay not back yet?
He's still up at the barracks with Sergeant Galt.
What on earth does he want with Archie Galt?
He didn't say, but I think I can guess.
I suppose this is something to do with Charlie Bell.
It may do, it may not, but it's no business of ours, Janet.
I really wouldn't have thought it of Dr. Finlay.
Thought what?
That he'd be so foolish, letting a bully like Charlie Bell vex him.
He has something to prove, to himself as much as anyone.
Maybe he's too headstrong.
He'll be fine, Janet. You just have to give him a chance. He's the makings of a good doctor.
Aye, maybe.
And as far as Finlay's concerned, we don't know what he's up to, so we're not going to interfere. Is there any more pie?
Come on, Doctor. Hit me.
Oh, God, I'm trying.
Oh, keep your guard up. Weave on your toes. Hit me hard, hard, like this.
Oh, God, I didn't see that one coming.
Well, you should have. Now, your turn. Go on, to the body. Come on. Oh, call that a punch. Put your weight behind it.
don't want to hurt you.
No, you won't do that, Doctor. I promise you. Now you take a swing. Keep your guard up. Oh, you see, I could have hurt you then.
You did.
All right, enough, or you'll be in need of a doctor yourself.
Well, do you think you could do something for me?
I am sorry, sir, you don't have the first idea about handling yourself.
I can learn.
But you'll not be telling me why you want to.
It's a private matter.
Well, you've got guts, I'll say that for you.
You have to apologise, Charlie.
Me?
Aye. I'll be needing more tonic. I might not get it if you don't say you're sorry for hitting the doctor.
He took a swing at me first.
That's as may be. But you go on up that surgery this minute and apologise to Dr. Finlay.
No, I will not.
You will do as you are told.
Stop nagging, will you?
Don't you talk to me like that.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Dear, you know how to apologise when you need to.
All right. I'll tell Finlay I'm sorry.
You promise me?
Aye, Mother. I promise.
Next. Charlie Bell. What are you doing here?
I wanted a word, Doctor.
Well, if it's about your mother, I can't...
No, it's not about my mother.
All right, well, sit down.
Cheers. Your eyes healing up nicely, eh?
Get on with it. What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Then don't waste my time.
Look, I've just come to say I'm sorry.
Oh. Ah, well, right.
Aye. I'm really sorry, Doc. Sorry I didn't knock your head off. Next time I will, and that's a promise. Good night to you, Dr. Finlay.
If Finlay had any doubts about the hard labour ahead of him, they walked out of the surgery that evening, along with Charlie Bell.
Come on, lift those knees, pump those legs. Faster, man, faster.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to bicycle on ahead. Now, you see if you can keep up with me.
I'm dying.
Then it's a good thing there's a doctor about. Come on, man. Put your back into it.
Charlie Bell. Charlie Bell. Charlie Bell.
Are you not going to have your pudding, Doctor?
Well, I'm not very hungry.
You polished off the beef.
But you hardly touched the dumplings. Were they not very tasty?
No, they were just fine.
You're not on a diet, are you, Finlay?
No, I'm not all that hungry.
You won't have some apple tart?
No, really.
Are you sure? It's one of Janet's finest.
Thank you, Doctor.
I am quite sure.
Are you all right, man? Your back seems to be hurting you.
Yeah, it's just a twinge, maybe.
And your arms. You could hardly lift your knife and fork.
I think I'll just go and have a hot bath. Oh,
Good God, man, you can barely move.
I'll tell you, I'm just fine.
If he gets much fitter, he's not going to be able to walk.
27, 28, 29. Come on, doctor. One more press up. You can do it.
30.
That's it. And we'll have you doing 50 by the end of the week.
God.
Salad?
Aye, lettuce and tomatoes and such like.
My pies have always been good enough for Dr. Cameron.
Lift, doctor. Higher. Brace your legs. That's it. Hold it. And drop. Right, now let's try it with another couple of weights added.
Why not try it with 3?
Is it rabbit food we're having for supper again tonight, Janet?
It is, Dr. Cameron.
You couldn't see your way to maybe cooking me some Yorkshire pudding.
I could not. If Dr. Finlay wants to eat carrots and lettuce, then that's what you'll have to put up with. I've no time to cook 2 meals. I've far too much on my plate.
I wish I had. The days seemed to pass very slowly. McGregor's on the high street did a very nice pork pie, but it wasn't the same as Janet's. Still, I had to admire Finlay's persistence. You could see the change in him. After a month of torture, he was ready for any number of Charlie Bells.
That's it, man. Good. Oh, hi. Use your feet. Now, remember what I told you. You keep it, you know.
Oh. Sergeant. Archie, wake up. Archie, can you hear me?
What happened?
Yeah, just lie still for a minute.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I think I might have hit you a bit too hard.
Not at all. I'm fine.
Well, you let your guard down.
Aye, maybe I did. Hey, come on, doctor. Just give me a wee hand up.
All right. But you know that you need...
Aye, and that's another lesson you have to learn, doctor. You are much too trusting.
There's a note, Doctor, from Mrs. Bell. Can you call on her tonight?
Isn't Finlay doing the evening visits?
Aye, but it is Mrs. Bell.
It'll be her usual hypochondria.
Maybe, but what if Charlie's there?
He'll be in the pub from the minute it opens.
But what if he isn't?
It'll be no bad thing. They can have their fight. It's time this nonsense stopped. It's time I had a proper meal again.
Oh, wait. That's enough for now.
Come on, I'm fine to go around.
No, you might well be, but I am not. I'm not taking another punch from you.
What do you mean?
It's high time you found someone your own age to hit. You pass us the water, will you?
You're not giving up on me, are you?
I've taught you all I can.
Aye, and am I any good then?
Good. Aye, man, you're damn good. This last couple of weeks you've come on like a house on fire. I said you had the makings of a bonny fighter. Never thought you'd do this quick.
It's not been easy.
Wasn't it meant to be? Now, will you tell me the reason why?
Charlie Bell.
Bell. Aye, you don't have to say any more, but I'd like to see him get his comeuppance. And you're the man to do it.
Doctor, you're sounding very happy.
I am happy, Janet. I think you could say I'm as pleased as Punch.
Then you won't be minding a house call this evening.
I won't.
It's to Key Street. Do you know it?
Back of the Elephant and Castle.
That's the one. Number 3. Mrs. Bell.
Oh, really?
You don't mind going?
Couldn't be better. Did she say what was wrong?
She didn't.
Well, I'll prescribe her another of her tonics, and if her son's there, I'll give him some medicine as well.
Dr. Finlay.
Were you not expecting me to call?
I thought it would be Dr. Cameron. Oh, well, it's no matter. I'm just so glad you're here. He's in the back room. Come on through.
Well, it's Charlie that's ill.
He's been so poorly, Doctor.
Ah, wait, now this isn't one
It
of...
was a week or so back at work. A big piece of scaffolding fell on him. I thought he'd broken his arm, but he wouldn't do a thing about it. You know, Charlie. Now his arm's all swollen like a balloon. Last night he was shouting in his sleep. Delirious, you call it, don't you? Son, the doctor's here for you.
Finlay, what the hell do you want? I thought the rag and bone man didn't come till Tuesday.
Be quiet, Charlie. Show the doctor your arm.
He's seen my arm and my knuckles. Have you know, Finlay?
I'd better have a look at it.
I'm not having you look at it. I'll be wanting a proper doctor.
Charlie, mind your tongue.
Come on, man. Suppose you show me this arm and we can get this over with. I promise you, I've no wish to stay longer than I need to.
Oh, what the hell? There you are. What do you make of that?
It's worse than it was this morning. It's like a great red balloon.
It must be hurting you.
Not at all.
You can hardly lift it, Doctor.
It's nothing.
It's far from nothing. I'll need to examine it.
You go ahead. You've got eyes, have you no?
Mrs. Bell, would you like to make me a cup of tea, please?
Tea? You're here to help me, no drink tea.
Of course, Doctor. I'll get you some right away.
4 sugars, please. And if you've any clean towels.
For everyone, Doctor. Charlie, you do as the doctor tells you.
What will you be wanting towels for, eh? Are you taking a bath?
I may need them to soak up the blood, Charlie.
You're just trying to scare me.
I'll need to press round the swollen part. It'll be painful.
I can take anything you dish out, Finlay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm going to take your temperature.
This is all a fuss.
Quiet. You've an infected arm. I think there's a great danger of blood poisoning if we don't get the muck out of it soon. Let me see what your temperature is.
You think you've got me just where you want me?
Oh no, Charlie. Far from it. You've no idea how much I regret finding you like this.
What's my temperature then?
It's 103.5.
Is that high?
It's high enough. Have you any headache?
No, I don't think you'll be giving me one.
I think you've got one already.
Maybe I have.
Tea, Doctor. And I've brought you some towels. Oh, what is it? Is it bad?
When the scaffolding fell on your son's arm, he must have cut it.
There was blood everywhere.
The wound got infected, but instead of the pus coming out, it's entering his body.
He's trying to scare us more.
I'm going to try and release the poison in his arm.
Oh, you do what you think is best, Doctor.
Mother, it's my arm.
Oh, quiet, Charlie.
If you can lay the towels under his arm, I'm going to have to make 2 incisions.
What do you mean?
I'm going to give you a whiff of chloroform. Open up your arm, let the poison out, like I said.
You'll no do that.
You must let me open it to drain away the pus.
I'll no let you give me chloroform. If you're going to butcher me at all, you can butcher me while I'm awake.
I'll have to cut very deep. It will be painful.
What the hell? Go ahead and see if it can make me squeal. Get a bit of your own back, eh? You know fine well you want to hurt me.
That's a lie. But you wait, I'll get you better and I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget. Mrs. Bell, would you hold his arm? Make sure he doesn't move.
Whatever you say, Doctor.
Stay my young go for you.
Are you sure you don't want the chloroform?
Look, if it says no, it means no, Doctor. You just do what you have to do.
All right. I'm going to make the first cut here. Are you ready?
Let's get on with it. You call that a cut?
Keep your arm still, man.
That's just a nick.
I'm going to make another one at your elbow. It's going to go deeper.
Stinks like rotten meat.
Aye.
Where's all this pus then?
There's very little there.
Is that good, Doctor?
You were wrong, weren't you? You made a hash of it, Finlay. I knew you would.
I'll have to make another incision. Let me give you the chloroform.
Mother, give us a cigarette. That's all I need.
Oh, well, brace yourself, man.
You're enjoying this, I can see.
Charlie!
It's all right, Mrs. Bell. He's only fainted. Give me the chance to dig a bit deeper without causing him any more pain.
Is it very bad, Doctor?
I'm afraid it is. The infection's entering his bloodstream. He should be in hospital, you know.
No, he won't have that. You'll not get Charlie into hospital.
He could lose his arm.
I am telling you, Doctor, he won't budge.
There was very little pus, just dark fluid. I'm pretty sure septicemia's already set in.
Do you want me to take the case on?
Oh no. Charlie Bell's my patient, and I'm not letting him die on me.
You may have no choice.
Doctor, Mrs. Bell sent a note. Could you come at once?
Go on, Nelly, run. Go on, girl. Run, you can do it. Run.
Who's Nellie?
It's his whippet. He keeps her up at the shipyard. He loves that dog. Oh, is he going to die, Doctor?
He's a strong man.
I want the truth.
Well, he's definitely developed blood poisoning.
What's that you heed, then? What's that you heed? You call that a hat?
It's a temperature of 105 and his pulse is 140.
No, you heed any more, eh? You can't catch me.
I don't know if there's anything more I can do for him.
You're trying to scare me, Doctor.
I'm trying to make you see sense. You can't keep him here. He must go to the hospital.
I won't send him there.
He may well die if we leave him here.
You don't understand. He saw his father die in hospital. Charlie was only 5 when it happened.
Can't I make you see how serious this is?
If you take him in, can you promise me he won't die?
I can't promise. Of course I can't.
Then I'll keep him here, at home.
Very well. I want you to scrub out the parlour. We'll put him in there. I'll come every day and dress his arm. And you'll have to get some nourishment into him. Chicken broth and the like. Little and often. Will you do that?
I'll do anything. He's a good son for all his wild ways. I'll do anything to make him well again.
Go on, Doc. Put him up. Or do you want another black eye? What are you made of? Potty, go on. Try and hit me. Go on.
You see, he's a fighter.
Aye. I'll be back first thing in the morning, Mrs. Bell.
And so Dr. Finlay's fight began. He went every day, 3 times a day, to dress the arm. He sent to Stirrocks in Glasgow for some new antitoxin. He even went to Paxton's in the High Street and bought special food for Charlie. It wasn't what you'd call a labour of love, exactly.
He's not getting better, is he, Doctor?
Yeah, it'll take time. Have you been with him all night?
I can't leave him, can I? If he dies, he won't be alone.
Oh, you're exhausted.
I'll be all right.
Nope, I'm not having 2 sick people on my hands. You go to your bed. I'll stay up with him tonight.
Are you sure, Doctor?
Aye, quite sure.
I'll just close my eyes for a wee bit then.
Good night.
Good night, Doctor. And thank you. You're a good man.
You hear that, Charlie? I'm a good man. And all because I'm not having you get away with it. Not after all I've been through, you hear me? You'll get better than I'll thrash the living daylights out of you. You'll pay for every bruise and blister Archie Galt caused me. Or are you a coward, Charlie Bell? Huh? Are you running away, is that it? You can hear me then. Come on, Charlie. Where are your guts, man? Huh? Come on, fight. Fight, damn you.
It was no labour of love for Dr. Finlay. You might even call it a labour of hate.
Doctor, wake up. Dr. Finlay.
Leave him, Janet. He's only just got in.
He should be in his bed.
Let him sleep there.
He can't go on like this. And neither can you, Doctor, taking on all these other patients.
You'll be telling me next we can't do without him.
Aye, well, he's not much help to you at the moment.
Don't worry, Janet. There'll be an end to this soon enough, one way or the other.
No, you can't.
Charlie. Charlie, it's all right, my dear. Can you do something, Doctor?
He's coming to a crisis. If he gets through tonight, he'll be on the mend.
He will get through, though, won't he?
Oh, I can't promise you, Mrs. Bell. He's very weak. He's battled for a long time. May not have the strength to battle for much longer.
Oh, my God. Can you do anything?
Oh, I wish I could.
No.
It was a long night for Finlay. He sat by Charlie Bell, willing him to take every breath, willing him to live. And for once in his belligerent life, Charlie obliged.
Mrs. Bell.
What? Oh, Doctor, you shouldn't have let me sleep.
It's all right.
Charlie.
Charlie's going to get better. He's got through the worst now. He's going to get better.
Charlie, my dearest boy.
I'll leave you with him. If I could just have a wash and a shave.
Finlay. Is that you, Finlay?
Aye, I'm here.
You see, man, I'm getting better in spite of you.
Oh, Charlie.
Let him sleep now.
Don't mind him, Doctor. He didn't know what he was saying.
Please don't worry about it, Mrs. Bell. You just concentrate on building him up. I want to see him as fit as he was before he fell ill.
You're so good to him.
Aye. Well, that arm will still need dressing, so I'll be in every day, and when he's a bit stronger we can arrange to have him convalesce down at our beg house.
He'll be so grateful to you, Doctor. I just know he will when he's himself again.
Hey, mind what you're doing, you idiot.
Hold still, man. Let me tie the bandage.
I got the better of you, didn't I? You thought you'd be able to take my arm off when I was senseless.
You're senseless now.
You thought you'd have the best of me, didn't you, Finlay? I could have beaten you with one arm. Go on. I can take you on now.
Don't tempt me.
You should have finished me off when you had a chance.
Maybe I should have.
You just wait till I'm right again.
I'm looking forward to it, believe me.
Here we are, boy shortcake. I've made you some strawberry shortcake to go with your tea. Well, I'm off down to the market. I'll be getting some steak for your supper, son. Have to be building them up, don't I, Doctor?
You do, Mrs. Bell. That you do. You'll be going to Ardbeg House next week.
Aye. What of it?
Make sure you get plenty of sea air, plenty of good food. I want you to get thoroughly fit.
Aye, so?
So, when you come back, come and see me at the surgery. I'll give you the hiding of your life.
All right. That suits me fine.
Charlie was gone a month, a very long month. One by one, Finlay counted the days. He went running, took care of what he ate, kept himself in shape. But life was strangely flat without Charlie. Finlay hated him so much he missed him. He actually missed the man.
Dr. Finlay! Dr. Finlay!
What is it, Janet? What on earth's the matter?
It's Charlie Bell. He's coming up the drive.
Is it a whole month he's been away?
To the day. Right, Janet, when he comes to the door, tell him I'll see him in the surgery.
Finlay?
It's all right, Dr. Cameron. I can handle him.
That's not what I was meaning.
Give me a few moments, Janet, then show him into the surgery.
I have a mind to be there with you. One of you might be needing my services.
And I know fine who it'll be this time.
Dr. Finlay, it's Charlie Bell.
Tell him to come in.
And in he swaggered, bronzed, fit, and with his usual sneering smile.
Finlay.
Bell.
Up he came to Finlay. They faced each other. They stared at each other. And what happened next? Well, it's almost too terrible to recall. Charlie raises his arm. Finlay raises his arm. And the two men, they shake hands.
Good day to you, Finlay.
Good day to you, Bell.
And away Charlie went. I looked across at Janet and I swear she was disappointed.
Janet,
Yes, Dr. Finlay.
if you're making dumplings for dinner tonight, I'll have 3. Best be on my rounds now.
We'll have to see, Dr. Cameron. We'll have to see.
Dr. Finlay. Who laughs last?
The trouble with Finlay was that he didn't always know when folk were taking advantage of him.
There's a note for you, Doctor.
Oh, I've only just sat down, Janet.
He liked to see the good in people, even if there wasn't much there to see.
It's not urgent.
Well, maybe you could take the call, Dr. Cameron.
Maybe I can, if they won't be too disappointed when they see it's not you, Finlay.
It's from Meg Mirley's.
That woman.
She said Dr. Finlay might like to call in if he's passing.
That'll be one you have to take, Finley. But if you want my advice, don't go within half a mile of the woman's door.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, there's nothing could ever be wrong with Meg Mirley's. She's the healthiest, hardiest, stingiest old gossip in Leavenford. In the whole of Dumbartonshire, I've no doubt. Isn't that so, Janet?
Maybe the whole of Scotland.
And for another, you'll never see your fee.
Well, if she can't pay...
Oh, she can pay all right. Her husband left her a fortune. She married him late when he was well over 70, and he obliged by only surviving a year or two. The house is packed with antiques, silver, porcelain, all sorts of things, all picked up at auction. Oh, she had a good eye, I'll give her that. She's a plate. Nankin blue and white. It's a beautiful thing.
Which you'd like to add to your collection?
She outbid me for it, almost 10 years ago now. She never wanted the plate. She just wanted to beat me out of it. She's not worth a moment of your consideration.
Still, I've a mind to look in after my morning rounds.
Then you're a damned fool, man. I'm away to my study, Janet. If any calls come in, I'm sure Dr. Finlay will deal with them. He seems to have more than enough time on his hands.
I don't think he likes the woman.
He does not.
Would you happen to know why?
Even if I did know, I'd not tell.
It can't just be over a plate.
Oh no, it wasn't that at all.
Come on, Janet. You can't let me go into the lion's den unprepared.
Well, it was years ago, in Dr. Snoddy's day. Meg called Dr. Cameron out. It was only a trivial thing, a cough, but she made out it was bronchitis. She had the doctor back and forth all winter. But when he sent in the bill, she said she'd only called him the once and he'd gone all the other times for his own interest because she was such an unusual case.
What did Dr. Cameron say to that?
He was furious.
Well, I should think he was.
He argued and argued till Dr. Cameron lost his temper, tore up the bill and threw it in her face. Which was exactly what Meg wanted. She never did pay that bill.
And that's why you don't like it either.
Oh no, Doctor. I've my own reasons.
Aye, well, I won't be having any nonsense from Meg Mirley's. Promise you that.
Is it Dr. Finlay?
It is.
You'd be the new doctor.
Well, not so new now, Mrs. Mirley's. I'm beginning to know my way around Leavenford, and I'm beginning to know the people in it.
Come in. Come in then, will you?
Thank you.
And how's your housekeeper?
Janet, she's well.
Good. Good. It's kind of you to call on a poor old creature like me. You sit down. It's as cheap as standing. I hope you don't find it cold, but I won't have fires when April comes. It's far too late in the year.
I'm fine, thank you. So, have you known Janet long?
Since she was a lass. Did she not tell you?
Not exactly.
If Janet Macpherson's a fine housekeeper, you've me to thank for it. She was a kitchen maid when I was cook to the Anguses up at Dunhill. You know them, of course.
I know who you mean. The mill owners.
A very fine family. Treated me very well. Still do. Loyalty. It's so important, Doctor. I used to tell Janet that. She was a lazy little thing when she first came to Dunhill.
I can't imagine that.
Oh, I soon licked her into shape, don't you worry. Firm words and a firm hand can work wonders. Now, Doctor, I'd offer you a cup of tea, but I'm all out of sugar.
I like my tea without sugar, as a matter of fact.
Is that so? I'd get one for you right away if the kettle hadn't gone off the boil.
So what is it I can do for you, Mrs. Mirley's?
Well, you know, it's something I can do for you, Doctor.
Is it now?
It is? Well, I've got something to show you I'm sure you won't have come across before.
It sounds intriguing.
It is. It started out as a wee bump, and it's been growing and growing. Now it's a great lump. It doesn't worry me, mind, but I thought a doctor would be interested in seeing it.
And where exactly is this lump?
On the top of my head.
Oh, well, let's have a look at it then. Would you mind if I lit one of the lamps?
You don't want to be doing that. Come over to the window. There. Do you see it? A great lump.
Aye, I do.
I thought to myself that'd be something interesting for the new young doctor. A grand experience for him to try his hand at getting rid of it. I've no doubt you'd be grateful enough to me without bothering with a fee.
Now, hold still now.
It's as big as a pigeon egg.
Well, swellings often feel bigger than they really are, but it's a fair size, I'll grant you that.
Have you ever seen anything like it?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Mirley's. Many's the time. Well, you can sit down now.
So, what is it?
It's a sebaceous cyst.
No.
Aye.
Is that very serious?
It's not. You'd probably call it a wen.
What's to be done with it?
It only needs a very simple operation.
An operation? There. I said it would be a grand experience for you.
I'm not needing that sort of experience. I can do the operation here. It's just a question of removing the cyst. My fee will be £1.50.
Doctor, I'm surprised at you. It's not a thing to joke about.
I'm perfectly serious.
No, you're not so heartless. Haven't I told you?
Never mind what you've told me. It's what I'm telling you that matters. £1.50 is the fee and not a penny less.
I couldn't afford that. You must see I'm just a poor old woman.
I see nothing of the sort. You're surrounded by fine things.
They're not as fine as they look. And would you have me sell my inheritance to pay you?
I know very well you can afford my fee, Mrs. Middlees.
Call yourself a doctor.
I do. And you'll pay a fair price for my services.
And there all the time I thought you were a good man. Well, I see I've wasted my time with you. I'll say good day.
Aye, good day.
And don't you dare charge me for this visit either. I'll not pay. Go on, be off with you now. Out of my house.
I thought she was going to come at me with her cane.
What did I tell you, Finlay?
I thought you might like some hot chocolate.
Janet, that's just the thing in this wind.
Janet, Mrs. Middlees was asking after you.
Was she now?
Aye.
I hope you told her I was well.
Oh, I did.
Good. And that's the last I want to hear of her, thank you, Doctor. You'll be in for your tea soon, I hope.
We will.
Do you know what Meg did to Janet to make her dislike her so much?
I don't. Janet doesn't like to talk about her life before Arden House. Do you think I should put a trellis over there? Maybe a climbing rose?
Well, maybe. By the way, I think I saw your plate.
Did you now?
Oh, I can't be sure. You can barely see in that house. She keeps the lights so low.
What was it like?
It's blue and white with Chinese people running about all over it.
It could be.
I did think about snatching it on the way out. It's too late now. I don't suppose any of us are going to see Mrs. Middlees again for a very long time.
Poor Dr. Finlay. He had no idea who he was dealing with in Meg Middlees. No idea at all.
Janet, I thought it was you across the street.
Mrs. Middlees, good afternoon.
I called after you, but I don't think you can have heard me.
I don't think I can. Well, I must be away.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very well. Well, I must get back to Arden House with these sausages. I've the doctor's supper to cook.
The doctors. How are they?
They're well.
Dr. Finlay, what a fine figure of a man.
Aye, he'll be wondering where I've got to.
And a very good doctor.
He is that.
I hope he didn't take any notice of my bad temper the other day. He knows I'm just a foolish old woman, doesn't he?
Oh, yes. I'm sure he does.
Of all the doctors in town, he's the only one I'd trust to look after me. Apart from Dr. Cameron, of course. Dr. Cameron has always been such a friend to me.
I'll tell him you said so.
Now, Janet, if Dr. Finlay could find it in his heart to call by again on a poor, helpless old woman in need...
The woman's quite mad.
She said Dr. Finlay was the only doctor she'd let past her door.
You mean she's tried every other doctor in Leavenford and they won't go near her?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's the unmitigated gall of the woman.
You almost have to admire it.
No, you don't. I'm sorry, Doctor, but you really don't.
She's just trying to flatter her way back into your good books.
Aye.
And you can have the pleasure of telling her to go to blazes.
Well...
Finlay,
Well...
you will tell her to go to blazes, won't you?
Well, whatever the woman's like, and I have no time for her, no time at all. But she does need that cyst attending to.
Let her go to Helensburgh then, or to Glasgow, or Harley Street if she's a mind. But don't weaken Finlay.
Aye, well, I know you're right.
You're going to call on her, aren't you?
Well, I've no choice.
Then I despair of you, man.
Don't you worry, Dr. Cameron. I think I have a way to make Meg Middlees repay us all. So you're agreed? This is a proper consultation?
Of course. Whatever else would it be? I must have my head dealt with. It's an awful affliction, you know.
I'm sure it is. And my fee?
Don't you worry about that. A guinea, wasn't it?
£1.50 for the initial consultation, and then there's the operation itself, and of course I'll be needing to come again and dress the wound.
I suppose you will.
Several times.
Really? Several?
If I'm to do a proper job.
Aye, well, it must be done properly.
But I was wondering, Mrs. Middlees, if it's a problem for you to find the money.
It's always a problem for a poor widow woman like me with no family and few enough friends. Still, if needs must.
Oh, perhaps, instead of a fee, you'd like to consider something else.
What are you getting at?
I believe you have a Chinese plate, Nankin, blue and white.
I do? You want my plate for your fee? My bonny blue plate that my dear husband brought all the way from China.
I thought you
My precious plate.
bought it in an auction.
That's worth a heap of gold sovereigns. To think you'd try and take advantage of a poor old woman like that. I was wrong about you, Dr. Finlay, very wrong.
I had no idea it was so valuable.
Well, you know now.
I'm sorry. Please, forget I suggested it.
I will.
We'll just settle on the proper fee and leave it at that.
Wait, Doctor. Don't run on so fast. I don't want to seem unreasonable. Would you get down the plate for me?
Okay. This one, is it?
If you'll get that one down. It's a pretty thing, is it not?
It's very bonny.
You have good taste if you like this plate of mine. You do like it?
I do.
And you'll take it instead of your fee?
Oh, not if it means so much to you.
It's full of so many memories. Careful. I wouldn't want any harm to come to it. Let me think for a minute.
I really wouldn't want to deprive you of it.
I'm being a fool to myself, I've no doubt, but seeing as how you want it so very much. Very well, Doctor. You shall have the plate in payment for putting me right.
You're sure?
Quite sure. Mind, you must look after me well. You're to take the wen away so it'll never come back.
I'll do my best.
Your very best. And you're not to hurt me.
I won't.
And you're to come in every day to see me until it's all better.
If I can.
You're to do it if you want the plate.
Very well.
Every day.
Aye.
And you're to give me a tonic for my blood, to perk me up.
And I'll do your corns as well.
What's that, Doctor?
Nothing at all. I'll be here tomorrow at 3.
I'm not sure if that would suit me.
3 o'clock, Mrs. Middlees.
So, you got your fee?
Not yet, but don't you worry, I will.
If I was you, I'd have the money in your hand before you begin.
I've made a bargain with the woman, and I trust her not to break it.
You trust Meg Mirrlees?
Oh, aye. She might twist and turn, but I don't think she'd break her word with me.
I wish I had your confidence.
Aye, well, I can always tell her I'll put the cyst back in if she cheats me. Hold still now.
Doctor, that looks awful sharp.
It's meant to be. You wouldn't want me cutting you with a blunt scalpel. Now I'm going to freeze the swelling.
What's that you're spraying me with?
It's just some ethyl chloride so you won't feel the incision.
Oh, Doctor, that hurts.
I haven't touched you yet.
No, but you will.
Stay quite still now.
All right, then. You can start.
I've already made the incision.
I thought I felt something.
You shouldn't have felt a thing.
Well, I did. Be careful. What are you doing now?
Do you really want to know?
I do. It's my head you're tinkering with.
All right, if that's what you want. I've exposed the cyst. And now I'm lifting the edge of the skin. I have to separate the surrounding tissue from the cyst itself, and then I'll be able to clip the base of the cyst and pop it out like a ripe peach.
Oh, please, Doctor. I think I'm going to faint.
No, you're not. You're going to sit quite still until I'm finished with you.
Every day, Finlay went to change her dressing, and every day she found something to complain about. The wound wasn't healing fast enough. The stitches were pulling. Finlay's hands were too cold. Day after day, he put up with her rudeness, her crabbiness, and her minginess.
I won't offer you a biscuit, Doctor. It might spoil your lunch.
As a matter of fact, I missed breakfast, so if you could spare that, what is it, a rich tea?
Aye, that's right. Oh, I wish I could, but this is the last one I've got in the house. I don't feel up to the shopping. When I get myself a new maid.
She begrudges me every breath I take in that house.
Watch out she doesn't present you with a bill for them.
I wouldn't put it past the woman, but I'll be the one presenting a bill, and I can hardly wait. Oh, hello.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Mrs. Middlees.
Oh, come through.
Thank you.
Doctor, you're late. I thought you weren't coming.
Doctor?
Dr. Finlay. He's supposed to be looking after me, but I thought he must have forgotten.
I had an urgent case I had to visit first.
Am I not urgent?
No. Let's have a look at this dressing.
There's no need.
I have to change it.
It's been done.
Done?
Peggy did it, didn't you, dear?
I hadn't realised the doctor was supposed to visit.
Well, you had no business to touch it.
I'm sorry.
Well, can you get me a cup of tea while I see what harm you've done?
A cup of tea?
Aye, and make it strong, with 4 sugars.
Yes, Doctor.
What were you thinking of, letting your maid change your dressing?
Peggy's not my maid.
She's not.
Oh, no. She's a nurse.
But a nurse?
And a very good one at that.
Well, why didn't you tell me she wasn't your maid?
You didn't ask? Has she done a good job with the dressing?
Aye, well, she has. What did you want to get a nurse in for?
Oh, she's not my nurse. She's just finished her training at Edinburgh Royal. She started at the Cottage Hospital. I thought you might know her.
Well, I don't.
She's John Angus's daughter. You know, the Anguses of Dunhill.
Yes, you did mention them before, where you worked as a cook.
Aye, that's right. Little Peggy always used to be in the kitchen. I'd give her her breakfast before the rest of the house was up. She hasn't forgotten me like some I could name. When I asked her to come and see her poor old Meg, she came straight away. Loyalty, Doctor, loyalty.
Your tea, Doctor. I hope there's enough sugar in it there for you.
Yes, thank you. Look, I'm sorry I spoke to you like that. I thought you were the maid.
Oh, and that's how you speak to servants, is it?
Oh, no, but I was angry.
Oh, you mean as long as you're angry, you can be as rude as you like?
No, it's just... I didn't realise...
No, I understand perfectly, Doctor. Please, don't worry about it. Now, I must be getting back to the hospital, Meg. Matron won't stand for her nurses to be a minute late. And I don't want to be shouted at twice in one day. Good morning to you, Dr. Finlay.
Hi, well, good morning.
Doctor, you're as red as a beetroot.
She's paying you with a plate.
Aye, but a very fine one, Janet. A plate Dr. Cameron's had his heart set on for years.
So where's it to go? The room's fit to burst with all his bric-a-brac as it is.
I don't think he'd want to hear you call it bric-a-brac.
Dr. Cameron doesn't have the dusting of it.
Please, Janet. You don't know what I have gone through to get that plate.
Oh, well, perhaps we can squeeze it onto the mantelpiece.
Aye, it'll look very fine next to the clock. It's only a pity every time I look at it I'll be reminded of Meg Mirley's.
You're not the only one.
Ow! Careful, Doctor. Watch what you're doing. You're pulling my hair out.
I'm doing nothing of the sort. Could you hold still while I cut the knot?
Oh.
It's healed over nicely.
When's my hair going to grow back?
It'll take a little while.
You were hacking away at it with that razor.
I only shaved what was necessary to expose the cyst.
Well, you'll no make a barber, I can tell you that.
Mrs. Mirley's, is all this fuss in aid of not paying me my due?
Oh, no. I just wanted you to know what I've been through to provide you with a bit of experience.
Fine, then I'll be taking the plate now.
What about my tonic?
Damn, I forgot all about that.
You promised me a bottle of tonic, and the Lord knows I need it after all I've had to endure.
You're perfectly healthy. You've no need of tonic.
Now who's trying to get out of our bargain?
I'll bring it round this afternoon. Then I'll have my plate.
It's all right, Doctor. I think I can trust you well enough. You take the plate now.
Well, thank you.
Will you maybe want me to wrap it up for you?
Aye, if you don't mind.
You get it down, and I'll find the paper.
I thought she was going to trick me at the last minute.
I'm surprised she didn't.
Well, she wrapped it up in this greasy old brown paper and did it up tight with string. So, when I got outside, I undid it all just to make sure it was the same plate.
And it was?
Oh, aye.
On the mantelpiece, you say?
Aye. Oh, it looks just fine, doesn't it?
I suppose so. It's much like any other plate to my eyes.
Well, I know what you mean. But then we're not connoisseurs.
Finlay!
Go on, Janet, you stand in front of it. And then when I say, step aside.
Will you be wanting bagpipes to be playing outside?
Come on, Janet. I've been through hell for this moment.
Finlay, have you seen my stethoscope anywhere?
No, Doctor. I've not seen it.
I can't find it in the surgery. Janet, you haven't put it somewhere.
No, Dr. Cameron.
What's the matter with you, woman?
Now, Janet. Ta-da!
What's that?
It's your plate.
My plate?
Aye, the one you've always wanted. I got it from Meg Mirley's. That was my fee.
Oh, Finlay.
What, do you not like it?
When I think of you day after day, running after that old biddy, waiting on her hand and foot. And for that...
What is it, Doctor? What's so funny?
I told you she'd cheat you.
Oh dear.
She's done nothing of the sort. This is the plate you told me about. The Nankin plate.
It's an ordinary willow-patterned dinner plate, man.
Oh, Dr. Finlay.
You can buy them for threepence halfpenny in the market. That's probably where Meg got it from.
No, it must be the right plate.
Shall I take it into the kitchen? Maybe you'd like your dinner on it.
After all that woman's put me through, I'll swing for her.
It's the plate you said you wanted.
It's no such thing.
I beg your pardon, Doctor, but it is.
It's not the Nankin plate.
I never said it was.
You showed me the wrong plate to begin with.
I asked you to fetch me a plate. I never told you it was the Nankin plate. I can't help it if you assumed it was.
You cheated me?
How dare you? I gave you the plate you said you wanted.
You set out to cheat me from the start.
You haven't kept to your side of the bargain. I still haven't got my tonic.
To hell with your tonic.
You're a fine doctor.
Yes, I am. And I'm not wasting another second in the likes of you. I've proper patients to look after.
You'll bring me my tonic. That was the bargain.
I'm not setting foot in this house again.
She's bested you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I told you she would.
Aye, well, she won't get any tonic from me.
But, Doctor, you made a bargain with her.
I won't go near the woman.
I can take her the tonic.
She's no right to it.
Still, it was the bargain. You wouldn't want her to make a liar of you.
Oh, maybe not. If you're sure it's not too much trouble, Janet.
It's no trouble, Doctor. No trouble at all.
And that, I thought, would be the very last we heard of Meg Mirrlees for a very long time. I was wrong, of course. It wasn't even 24 hours.
Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying. Will no one help me?
Oh, I'm here, Meg. Oh, you poor thing. Please, Dr. Finlay, you must come.
I'm afraid I can't.
Meg's really ill.
Did she ask for me?
No.
No, I thought not.
She's in pain, Doctor. I don't know what's wrong. I mean, it might be flu, but it seems much worse.
I'm sure she can find another doctor.
You know no one else will come and see her.
Well, that's not my fault.
I've been told you cared about people.
I do.
I didn't think you'd let your own feelings come between you and a patient if they needed you.
She's not a patient of mine anymore.
I thought better of you. I was obviously wrong. Goodbye.
No, wait.
Oh, Peggy Angus was a clever girl. Finlay couldn't see it yet, of course. He would, but not yet.
Oh, it's burning me. It's terrible.
Where's it hurting?
My stomach, my gut, everywhere. I can't keep a thing down.
Can you stretch out at all?
Oh, doctor, do I have to?
If you can.
What is it? What's the matter with me?
Maybe it's judgment on you for swindling me out of that plate.
I don't care about the plate. You can have every plate in the house if you just take the pain away.
Is that a promise?
I swear it. Just, oh.
What have you eaten today?
I can't bear to talk about food.
You must try and tell me.
I just had my breakfast, porridge and a kipper, and a dose of that tonic you sent me.
Maybe food poisoning. Did you eat anything else?
Nothing. I can't even keep water down. I'd try some more of the tonic if you think that'll help.
No, I don't think you should eat anything else for 24 hours. What's this?
What? It's the tonic, of course.
This is the tonic that Janet brought you.
Yes. Doctor, please, can you make me better?
Yes. I think I can. But you won't forget your promise about the plate.
It's in that cupboard. Take it. Just give me something for the pain.
Right. I'm going to mix you something that'll help. Here we are. Drink it while it's still fizzing.
I can't.
Go on now, it'll make you feel better in no time at all. And the plate's in this cupboard, you say?
It is. Oh, doctor. Oh, it's easing me already. Thanks be to the Almighty. And to yourself, of course. Oh, it's easing me a treat.
Aye, by this afternoon, you should be as right as rain. And you won't even need this tonic anymore.
I'll never be able to thank you.
No, believe me, this plate's thanks enough.
I don't know how I could have done such a thing, Dr. Finlay.
It's not easy to mistake a bottle of tonic for an emetic like ipecacuanha.
It's not. I can't have looked at the label properly. I don't know what I was thinking.
No, I don't know either.
I'm sure it won't happen again.
It certainly won't, Dr. Cameron.
And there's no harm done this time.
No.
And it is a very bonny plate.